Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Safatunisa Zahida and this is my student ID. Welcome to Upper Limb Prosthetic Learning Session. In this video, I'm going to discuss three important topics. First is transradial socket design and casting. Second is transhumeral socket design and casting. And the last is biomechanics in upper limb prosthetic. I will explain everything with simple English, easy prosthetic terminology, clear and simple, so you can understand the concept and apply them in clinical practice. Transradial amputation is the most common upper limb level. Thumb length is very important because it affects pronation and supination, elbow range of motion, and socket design. Very short thumb in less than 35% of forearm is big difficulty for suspension. Short in 35 until 55%. Medium in 55 until 80%. Long is 80 until 100 is best range of motion. Remember, as thumb length decrease, the pronation and supination is decreased. A good transradial socket must fit the thumb comfortably, transmit force efficiently, and allow residual limb motion, and provide good suspension. Type of transradial prosthesis. We have passive or cosmetic, provide no function of the hand grip. Functional, provide some function of the hand grip. Body power, use body movement to operate the hand. External power, use either muscle, impulse, or battery. Socket suspension. There are two main types. First is self-suspension. Second is external suspension or body harness. For the next is transradial socket design. We have four socket design. First is plug fit or standard. Second is northwestern supracondylar socket. Third is Muenter socket. And the last is Stratile supraolecranon. Plug fit or standard socket. No self-suspension, need external suspension, good for long thumb with good soft tissue. For the trim line, for the anterior trim line is enough to allow full elbow flexion. Medial or lateral distal to epicondyles. For the posterior trim lines in level of olecranon for full range of supination and pronation. Northwestern supracondylar socket. Self-suspension. Use medial and lateral supracondylar flares. Good suspension and stability. Recommended for medium to long thumb. For the posterior trim line is 30 mm from olecranon. For the opening is less than 45% thumb length if the thumb more than 12 cm. Lancer socket. Very strong self-suspension, good for short and very short stem. For the trim line, at the posterior trim line goes above olecranon and restrict elbow range of motion around 70 degrees. Next is start light supra-olecranon for the suspension mainly over olecranon, medial lateral wings parallel to humerus, and limit elbow extension. For the next is transradial casting. For the position at 90-degree flexion and neutral, no pronation and supination. For the landmark at the medial and lateral epicondyle of the humerus and olecranon process, cut and of radius and ulna, scar area, groove area, neuroma, and the last is approximate proximal trim line. For the measurement from epicondyle to end of scap. For the circumference, every 30 millimeters. At the sound side, from the lateral epicondyle to ulnar styloid. For the casting position for standard socket is 45 until 60 degree elbow flexion. For the monster is 90 degree elbow flexion. Northwestern at the 45 degree depends on the stem length. Next is negative cast checking. First, check elbow flexion and extension. Check the rotation, check the trim line height, and build up the olecranon, epicondyle, and distal of the stump. Now that we understand the transradial socket principle, let's move up to the next level is transhumeral socket design. Transhumeral amputation include distal third and proximal third of the humerus. The distal third of the humerus is provide functional control very similar to ED except for suspension and rotary control. Leave some space for elbow mechanism. The proximal third of the humerus cause more challenging for prosthesis. Key principle in transhumeral socket design. First is must provide rotational stability, must provide suspension, and trim line depends heavily on stem length. For the next is type of transhumeral design. First is over-the-shoulder design. Proximal trim line passes over the shoulder, provides strong suspension, very useful for short stem, but reduce humeral abduction. The wings stabilize rotation and distribute force. For the distal trim line is 0.5 until 1 cm below the axilla. Next is below acromion or open shoulder design. For the trim line is below acromion, more freedom of shoulder movement, better comfort and cosmetic, but less self-suspension, and need a harness. Suction is possible but depends on limb volume. For the next is transfemoral casting. First is secure stocking net or stocking. Second, make a landmark at the acromion, clavicle, spine of scapula, sensitive area, distal end of humerus bone, and level of measurement. And last is mark the outline to be reference of the trim line. When marking the outline, allow for ample coverage to the scapular wing and to the deltopectoral groove. And the next, make 6 slab. First is axilla slab. Run under the axilla in anterior posterior direction. Medial slab, run from the axilla to the end of the stump. Anterior slab, run from the shoulder to the end of the stump. Posterior slab, runs from the shoulder to the end of the stump. Lateral slab, run from the shoulder to the end of stump. Proximal slab, run from anterior axilla over the shoulder to the posterior axilla. Next is apply a slab to proximal position. Next is position the axilla slab. Pull the slab under the axilla and up into the anterior and posterior side of the body. Position the medial slab should be overlapped with the axilla slab. Position the anterior, posterior, and lateral slab overlapping each into the next. The proximal slab over the shoulder. And next is wrap step. Next is apply pressure anteriorly and posteriorly to shoulder joint with stump in adduction. Next is identify height of medial wall in axilla area. Next is draw alignment line. And next is it is important that the stump to be in the correct position, which is without flexion or extension or adduction or abduction when the plaster is set. For the last is remove the wrap cast carefully so as not to deform the anterior or posterior wings. And now let's move to the last topic is biomechanics in upper limb prosthetic. A lever help multiply force, mechanical advantage MA equal effort per resistant arm. When the effort arm is small, the muscle need to produce a very large force. For the formula is F times A equal F times B plus W times C. F is force of the bicep muscles, A is lever arm of the bicep muscle,
F is weight on forearm. B for lever arm of the weight out of the forearm. W is weight an object. C is lever arm to weight.
Short stump is large force on distal stump, more discomfort and skin rash. Long stump is better force distribution. Some concept apply but with longer lever arm. Prosthesis weight produce a large moment. More pressure at distal stump. Suspension must handle traction force and rotational force. Thanks for watching guys. Understanding transradial socket, transfemoral socket, and biomechanic upper limb prosthetic help us to create prosthesis that truly support our users. Keep learning and see you in the next session.